saw that and Bill called him, so here he is. So I don't want to read his files. I'm afraid if I mess something up, he'll put me in a headlock. I'm going to turn the mic over to him and let him do his thing. Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. Well, that was a great meal, that's for certain. Can't beat the old beef. First and foremost, just want to thank Colorado Livestock Association for having us out today. I want to thank everybody for showing up and supporting everybody up here. I'm going to introduce us, and then we'll go over a brief overview of the company, and then we'll give you guys some hints and tips that you can do for yourselves on your own place to help with rural crime. My name is Jason. I own Tactical Ops Outdoors LLC. This is Steve, 30 years retired law enforcement. He's part-time with us. We are a relatively small company by design. We have steady growth and we are positioned to grow nationally. Part of the company, we started as a private investigation company, which we still are, and at the core now we are a tactical surveillance company. We have subcategories like our predator control division, and we align with other companies, such as our military nonprofit company that we donate 10% of all of our revenue to. We're super big with the military and the veterans. A lot of the folks on board with us are retired military. In fact, I do want to take one quick minute and see a show of hands here who our veterans are in the room. Just give them a thank you for your service. Veterans. Okay. Yeah, like I said, we're big supporters of the military, and with what we do in day-to-day operations, it's helpful to have those guys on board. That's what they've done for a lot of years. Keeps us on top of things. A lot of you probably have no trespassing signs on your properties, cameras and use signs, maybe these types of things as deterrents for rural crime. At the end of the day, those just don't work. I'm sure a lot of us have seen that. So we've implemented what we call our criminal deterrent operation, which are these here. This is kind of like a step one. Any lawman will tell you that, fight crime, number one was prevention. So on these signs, we have our website. The website has videos linked to it stating that these are much more than just signs. These are your last warning. We have surveillance in place at this point. Everything else is going on. The nature of surveillance, it's basically undetectable. There could be a camera in here. We wouldn't know if it's working, if it's on, if it's even being monitored. So surveillance is a neat tool in its own, and it's a pretty big mind game in a whole anyhow. One story with these signs, we had a client that was having some poaching issues on their ranch. Their ranch is one of these locked facilities. If you don't belong there, you can't get in. And so we were able to post some signs, help deter folks from coming back on the place as a step one. And then in order to kind of figure out more on this particular case, that's where these guys come in handy. This is a drone, quadcopter drone, and we can send these guys up in the air and be able to see over tree lines, river bottoms, looking for two-track trails, looking for cars, vehicles down there. With this particular place, they had a railroad track that was going on the one end of the property that was accessible. And so folks were getting in on the railroad track through their Jeeps and parking back in there and going and doing poaching. So once we spotted where they're parking with the drones, then we can go in there, set up manned and unmanned surveillance. And we were able to take video and photo of people with rifles, get license plates, things like that. So that worked real well. Some of the other tools that we use, this is one thing that kind of separates us from a lot of the other companies, is our ability to work at night. A lot of what we do is at night. This is a daytime, nighttime scope that can go on our rifles for predator control. This can also be put on a bipod tripod for surveillance. This has HD video capability, so no matter what time of day or night it is, whatever I see, I can get video of. Those are super helpful. They work well for the predators too. Another thing that's really handy, these guys here, these are called GPS trackers. Okay, say you've got a tractor, an implement, a flatbed trailer set up over just on the other side of the hill where it can be stolen. Hell, even in the yard itself, people are stealing right out of the property. But we can throw these on an implement, on anything, and I can know right when a tractor fires up, when a trailer's moving. Not only does that allow me to recover your property, but I can sneak in there stealthy-like and take some surveillance of what's going down and create a case of it before we end up doing anything more with that. So at the end of the day, the surveillance tools and such are real helpful and handy when it comes to trying to eliminate what this didn't. Poaching, a lot of you guys probably even have outfitters leasing part of your ground, what have you. You're making money on these hunts sometimes. Others, it's just people just coming out and enjoying themselves. Well, at the end of the day, the poachers are taken away from us. I saw some statistics say the amount of licenses handed to licensed hunters is the same amount of game being taken by poachers. So I mean, you're talking a lot, and that's taken away from tax dollars, taken away from the game that us legal guys are allowed to take. So it's a real problem in a whole. Another thing that we'd like to see people do to help themselves out during poaching times is just be aware of the season dates. I mean, that's something fairly simple. You can kind of get an eye. All of us out in the rural areas are always shooting guns, popping shots at coyotes or practicing. So it's hard to jump at gunfire in the woods or what have you. But at least if you know the season dates, you can kind of keep an eye open. So that's a bit of a help. A lot of the crime anymore does happen at night. And so, that's why we found, for one, the deterrent is kind of the number one start, and then from there's only so much you can do other than set up some surveillance. So these guys here, this is something you guys can do. It's really easy. These are great tools. These cameras are day-night, both night vision, daytime. This is a blackout model, so it won't have flash or anything. It's basically undetectable at night. We had a client that was having some bulk fuel stole. I'm sure a lot of you have bulk fuel stations on your farms and ranches. So these, you can stick them anywhere. You can put them high, put them low, put them on trees, put them on T-posts, and that'll help get some intel on what's been going on around your bulk fuel stations. Put them in front of gates, coming in and out of pastures. People want to come in with trucks and trailers in the middle of the night. You can put this license plate height and get maybe some photos or videos of what's going on around the place for not a lot of money. And the batteries on them things last months, so I mean, you can put that thing out there and pretty well ignore it. Our predator control side, predators, everybody knows when the sun goes down, that's when you start hearing the coyotes going. So that's another thing we do, is we hunt at night. We're set up with thermal imaging and night vision. The difference between the two, thermal imaging detects heat. So if you were hiding in the bushes, I'd be able to find you because of the heat detection. Night vision is a lot clearer image, but it wouldn't probably find you if you were in a ghillie suit hiding in the bushes. They will both work well for surveillance and or predator control. I think it was like 2014, some statistics were showing that 19,000 calves in Colorado alone getting taken down from predators, and that's just what was reported, so you can imagine that number's a hell of a lot higher. That's what really drives us, is the rural crime in general, and in my opinion, calves getting taken down by predators, knocking down on the bottom line is rural crime. All the way up to vandalizing, the thieves stealing. So that's what we're here for, that's what we're about, is just trying to help rural landowners in dealing with rural crime. And like I said, anybody will tell you prevention first, and that's all about right there. I did put flyers on the end of all the tables. You guys can pass those down. They have our website on them. You guys can review those, get an idea of what we do. There's a contact us page on there for questions or concerns or anything like that. I'm going to open the floor real quick to Steve. He's got a few things to say, and then we'll open up for questions and answers at the end of it.
Good afternoon. Thank you. My name is Steve. Did law enforcement on and off about over 30 years. Quite a few different aspects of it. But I want to talk to you about, you know, in the beginning there were all visionaries, people that moved the cattle up to these areas. That's what they said in Lonesome Dove anyway. But all the way through the years, they've always had to protect their own livestock, all their possessions, their properties, themselves. And after a while, you know, it kind of got out of hand. So I'm going to quote another movie, Tom Horn, cattleman, hired a bounty hunter to come and help some of their problems with predators, poachers, rustlers, and it worked out pretty good, except for him in the end. But anyways, law enforcement is still pretty thin. You know, they don't have the resources to patrol everything that needs to be patrolled. And this is where I think this company could be great value to some of you people out there. Not just farmers, ranchers, construction businesses, any kind of a big campus like that or that needs security. Over the years, I've seen a number of different things happen. Particularly, some cattle being stolen. I mean, and these guys are doing it so fast. It's something I never would have even thought of. They go in and pop a couple, bust out their chainsaws, quarter them up, throw them in the truck, and they're gone. You know, yeah, that was quite a baffling one. Took us a while. Other times, you know, some of the criminals are so bold. I mean, they'll come right up to you and talk to you in your face and just lie. Man, some of them are pretty good at it, you know. So you gotta kind of watch out for stuff like that. We've had people on job sites come in, hook up to a portable air compressor. What are you doing? When I told them, well, this is rental, we're taking it in. I said, no, nah, you better go. I'm calling the sheriff, so better get out of here before they get here. Of course, we still had dispatchers back then. We didn't have cell phones. You can imagine that. Now, that's a while ago. But anyways, and you never know who these people are going to be, or if they can be trusted at all, or how dangerous and desperate they are. They get on some of your back pastures and stuff, set up drug cookers and stuff like that. You don't know what you can, if you come upon them, you don't know really what to expect or how to handle it. Another good reason, I think this company would be quite an asset to you. And also there's a few simple things. I mean, it's so simple. Things you could do to help yourself out while you're out there around your property, how to manage security. Say you don't get out there for a while, going through a gate, you suspect something, just put a little mark in the dirt, you know, next time you come, see if anybody's come and go on using it. If you have other farm sites, buildings, storage places that don't get tended to regularly, if you can, try and get a security light up. I mean, better than nothing. At least, you know, criminals don't like to work under light, you know, very well. And you could always keep your equipment and machinery, if you can't get it inside, either park it close enough that they can't get in between it and park your vehicle and hide it, or do whatever they're doing, gutting a deer or a beef. Either that or far enough apart where, you know, you can spot something in between there. Kind of watch your fences and hedgerows and stuff like that. Kind of just clean up the area so it can be watched carefully from a distance away. And also too, that'll deter them because they don't like working yield. And that's about all I can go on right now. I'd like to thank you all. Jason, you got
Questions, anybody?
Yeah, and then, like I say, at the end of the day, those are just some of the easier points to think of out in the rural areas where there's just so much wide open ground. Establish communication with the neighbors, and which a lot of us do anyway. And just keep on the lookout. I think that's all we have. No questions. Wraps it up a little early, but we were running late anyway, so.